all organizations, if they want to be effective, they should be diverse.
The Ecology Action Centre is slowly and genuinely trying to become more diverse and inclusive in all parts of the organization, as well as on the ground in communities.
If our goal is to protect the environment, we're going to be better at it if we have more cultures and more kinds of different people in the organization.
The same way we feel that having a diverse ecosystem is important, we feel that having a diverse community and reflecting the diversity of Nova Scotia, it will make us a stronger organization.
The penny dropped a number of years ago when the Ecology Action Centre was working with the people of Lincolnville. This small African Nova Scotian community in rural Guysborough County is home to not one, but 2 landfill sites.
Why? With all the land in Guysborough County, why would you have to locate a landfill site next to a black community in Guysborough County?
Environmental racism to me means, it's no secret that the provincial government's had a habit of locating landfill sites near black and native communities. And I've been on the forefront now for the past couple of years. I've seen exactly the kind of reaction the community gets from the municipality as well as our representatives.
As the EAC worked to help the community in its fight against environmental racism, it realized that its own relationship with Nova Scotia's diverse groups and communities wasn't what it could be. There and then, the EAC agreed that it was necessary to start immediately working towards a goal of improved diversity and inclusion.
Basically is just a social justice. It's just about equity and fairness. And I don't believe, this is an environmental organization, I don't believe you can have a sustainable world or city or province if it's not fair, if it's not rooted in social justice and fair to everyone. Because if it's not fair, it's not sustainable, it's not going to last. You're always going to have social unrest and problems, and that's going to be destructive, and that can't truly be called sustainable.
We want it to be a bigger group that is just as diverse as our environment, as our ecosystems.
The reality of the situation is that most environmentalists are still white, middle-class women with lots of formal education. And that's not going to change overnight. But the Ecology Action Centre feels that it's important to get started, that organizations like the EAC need to start somewhere, anywhere, and they need to start now.
In human resources, when you recruit, there are certain tendencies to hire people like yourself. It's a well-known phenomenon in human resources. By eliminating those tendencies, by creating good systems, you actually increase the diversity over time of an organization, and you end up hiring more diverse candidates.
There has to be a real understanding of some of these issues if we're going to make a change. And more people need to be actively involved and participate in the events and get some of these messages out. So the more people know, I think, and the more groups that we can get to participate, the more effective we can be.
Organizations that are diverse tend to do better at meeting their objectives. So there's an adjustment period to, say, a culturally diverse organization, while the team becomes more cohesive, works out any cultural differences they may have. But over time, the research shows that diverse organizations outperform homogeneous organizations.
Getting new people involved can be hard work. It can even put people outside their comfort zone. Nonetheless, much of the work is so enjoyable and highly rewarding. Take, for example, the Neighborhood Earth project the EAC recently worked on in North End, Halifax. This was an environmental education project for youth using art as the means to engage them in environmental issues. Neighborhood Earth included art and sculpture, a community pancake breakfast, even an endangered species parade.
We're within, a diverse community already. So I think by focusing on community, that is a project towards diversity.
Some of these initiatives worked, and some didn't get the results hoped for.
I feel that we've done better probably in the last 5 years than we did in the first 5 years that I was here. So maybe it's been around 10 years that I've been involved. And so we've definitely visibly doing better in terms of having more interns coming from different backgrounds, having hires from different backgrounds. It's still not good. Like, it's still really pathetic.
It's always interesting when you analyze your policies and try to make changes, and the change may not come for a long time, and
kind of what I was
measurement is
thinking.
the hard part. And
Yeah.
I don't know if we've seen the results yet.
We've been trying to do it really gradually, and we've been trying to do it very genuinely, and we've been trying to do it in a multifaceted way. So on lots of fronts, so in lots of parts of the organization, on the ground in communities, in the organization with how we work with volunteers and who we invite to apply for jobs at the center, in the kinds of work that we do. So looking to fight, if we can, in solidarity with groups suffering from environmental racism, for example, or in the Acadian communities, thinking about the impacts of climate change, or with new Canadians wanting to plant an urban garden and grow some of their own food.
In 2006, the municipality of Guysborough builds a bigger landfill on the same site, and the community never wanted that new site. It happened in spite of the desires of the community. That's another element of injustice that the community was never listened to along the way, has never been consulted along the way.
The challenges continue, but the Ecology Action Centre has found it so rewarding to work every day, finding new and creative ways to include diverse people. People who bring new ideas and perspectives from different cultures and life experiences. Their inclusion will make the Ecology Action Centre stronger, more effective, and a healthier, more resilient organization.
The environmental movement has been accused of being this middle-class white movement. So by broadening our reach, and it's mostly women, so broadening our reach, getting more men, maybe people who aren't white, who aren't middle class, people from other backgrounds involved and engaged, we become stronger.
Hopefully in 15 years, when I'm looking back on my time here, I see a very different organization than the one I left.
And now the Ecology Action Centre issues this challenge to you. What will you do to help the movement become more diverse, inclusive, motivating, and exciting?